Okay, so I'm sorry. Hi. I'm sorry to anybody who was waiting for me, who wanted to get this done for Mother's Day. It's the night before Mother's Day, and I'm afraid that I have been working on a way to finish this. I made several videos over the past couple days trying to find an end for this project. But everything I did was coming out a little clumsy and fairly convoluted, just too much work involved. So this was one idea I was working on, where we just took a sheet of paper, folded it up, and drew flowers, and then we were going to do butterflies in the background. But honestly, it was just becoming too involved and exhausting. So I put that to the side. Another idea I had, the original idea, was that we would have Jimmy's hands. We would make hands and arms holding the flowers. Hands came out too big. It was just, once again, too convoluted. It wasn't working. So I'm putting that to the side. You know, it's okay to do things on the fly like we do. And normally things work out fine. But in this particular instance, it just became frustrating. So toss the frustration to the side and start again. And now I think I've got a really good idea that we're going to enjoy. And in the last video also, I almost stopped making this and almost redid it. But I just wanted to keep going because the world isn't going to end. That Jimmy isn't quite the normal Jimmy for me. This is how Jimmy normally looks. He has a fairly high forehead. His eyes are a little bit smaller than I made them here. They're very googly-eyed there. They're very big. And they're usually closer to his mouth. They're down in that oval that would make up the jaw. Right there, including the nose. That's how I would normally make him. Instead, he came out like this with very large eyes, and they're very high up. But it's okay, you know, it's okay. I used to obsess over everything being perfect, and I had to do it and redo it, and then I would get myself in such a dither I couldn't finish anything. And I'm not doing that here. I'm not doing that now. I think I've got an ending for this, and why don't we just see how it goes, okay? We're just going to make a little sleeve and background for Jimmy to sit in. And again, I apologize. It's the day before Mother's Day, and I don't have this project completed. But we'll do it now. And you don't have to use this for Mother's Day. You can use it for any day. But first, any way to tell someone you're thinking of them and you love them. First, we're going to take our piece of scrap paper and just kind of draw a nice light squiggly line along the top. A nice light squiggly line along the top. Don't worry about the shape. It's not going to matter in a little bit. We're also going to take, the bottom. We're going to cut a piece off, and Jimmy's going to sit inside. I'm going to measure it just by bending this lower piece up to a place I feel is appropriate. You may feel that yours should be folded in another place. It's okay. I'm not measuring, I'm just going to fold. And then I'm going to cut. I'm going to cut along that line. Okay? Or we are going to cut along that line. Again, not to flip out. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight. Because I've got something in my mind we're going to do. And this, we'll see how that works out. But just like we drew a squiggly line up here, we're going to draw kind of wavy, squiggly line along the bottom. Okay? And these we're going to fill in with flowers, some leaves, and if we have enough time, a butterfly or two. Let's go back to drawing our impatiens because they're easy. Impatiens are flowers that have 5 petals on them. We may draw some daffodils, I'm not sure. But let's start with the impatiens, and we're going to start them by drawing circles. Place your circles anywhere you feel they should be. I want to keep it kind of inside the lines, but it doesn't matter because the petals can go outside the lines a little bit. You can draw big circles, you can draw little circles. And we're going to do this fairly quick because we don't want to belabor, we don't want to get stuck in it. Just putting down circles saying, yeah, it feels good right there. That circle feels like it should go there. Do the same thing on the lower piece of paper. Just draw circles. I'm drawing mine dark so you can see them. You can draw yours light, and then you can erase them a little easier later. You don't have to have millions of them. We're taking up space. And again, we're not going to worry about it. I have to sharpen my pencil a little. Okay, now we're going to draw the petals. And the petals look almost like hearts. Almost like hearts. Hearts without the pointy thing at the bottom. So you're going to draw 5 of them. 2, 3, 4. And if you watch, I'm not worried about the angle of the petals. 5. Okay, let's keep going. I'm just drawing the petals. I'm not worrying about it. But something I really want to impress is not to worry. It will all be fine. 4, 5. Another petal. Another flower. 1. Oop, like a heart. That's it. 3, 4, 5. See? Oop. Ooh, I only drew 4 on that one, but it's okay. It's all okay. If you ever start to worry when we're doing this, just tell yourself, it's all okay. It's just a little project. It's just drawing. And just like when I'm painting, when I'm helping people paint, I tell them, it doesn't matter. It's all fixable. We're going to do this in pen in a few minutes. And if there's anything that has to be fixed, we can do it then. I'm not going to worry. Okay. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got one flower sitting on top of another, so I just drew 2 lines for a petal. Okay, just the idea of a petal, just the idea. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Some of my petals are fat and wide, others are skinny. It's okay. Nature is not perfect. I want this to feel light and breezy. 1, 2, 3. And turn the page a lot too. Turn the paper so you're not drawing from one direction. This is an impatient garden. And impatiens are not spelt the same as impatient. When somebody wants you to move quickly and hurry it up and they get angry. It's spelt a little bit differently. I-M-P-A-T-I-E-N, I believe. Impatient. Okay, I'm on my last flower for this little piece of paper. My last impatient. Then I'm going to move on to the big one. And if you want, you can draw, big circles with big petals, and that's okay too. All right, I finished my impatiens. Now I'm going to move over here. Start here. Those heart-shaped petals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just keep going. Oop. 3, 4, 5. So when I was in middle school, I had an art teacher who was actually pretty awful. And for a while he was nice. And then he just became angry and bitter. Maybe he was always angry and bitter and I just didn't want to see it. But one day he came up to me and he said, "You'll never be an artist. You're not any good." And that hurt my feelings for a long, long time. I went home and cried. I didn't want to go back to art class. Now here we are. a long time later, and we're doing things like this. We paint, and we draw, and when we're doing projects like this, I like to tell people it'll be okay. It'll be okay, and not to worry, because I want you to feel the ease and the fun in making things. I was told a lot, you don't do this right, you don't do that right. And I never want to make anybody feel as bad as I always felt. Because I'll tell you a secret. I went back, this is now, well, 10 years ago or so, I went and looked at his website. Now, I'm now a grown-up lady, and I still feel bad about what he said. It still hurt my feelings. And I went and I looked at his artwork online. That guy was not very good, I gotta tell you. He wasn't very imaginative. He didn't have great skill. He was just okay. And so what I have found, and what it took me a long time to figure out, is when somebody tells you you're not good at something, or they just tell you how much better they are than you are, 99% of the time, it's their own monsters coming out to visit. 99, if not 100% of the time, that's somebody else has told them that. The same thing. You're not any good. You'll never be any good, and you should stop. It's their own monsters coming out for a visit. Coming out to bully, because they were bullied. So that's why I keep telling you, it's okay. It's just drawing. Okay? I'm almost done with my flowers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, those flowers are crowded. I think we have to find a way to break them up. Otherwise that might be a little boring, I'm not sure. Let's see. Maybe a little bit boring. One, 2, 3, 4, 5 heart-shaped petals. I'm on my last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I've got all my petals drawn in. Got a big garden there of flowers. I think I want to put in some little buds, but this we can do without using the pencil. This we can do by using our pen. Now don't forget, it's going to bleed through onto your tabletop, so put something underneath so you don't get magic. If you're using a Sharpie marker, if you're using what I'm using right now, it's going to go right through to the tabletop. So put another piece of scrap paper down, or a piece of cardboard, or anything you have that you don't mind getting stained. But we're going to start by drawing just some little buds, and those are just going to be, let's say 3 lines. 1, 2, 3 lines, like that. Okay, 4 lines. We're just going to make 2 little ovals. 2 lines sticking off of that, and then a little, oops, sorry, stopped working for a sec, and then a little stem. Ooh, I put three little ovals on that one. The battery on my iPad is dying, so I might have to go get the charger while you continue drawing. Yeah. Another little bud with a stem. So, can you see? And we want them going in different directions. Going in different directions like that. Let me put one right in the middle there. What about right here? So I'm kind of drawing over the flowers a little bit with with a few buds. There. Now, how about one right up here? Okay, so now we're going to start doing the circles on our impatiens. I'm just going to draw the circles. I think I better go get the little charger before the camera gives out. I'm just drawing my circles. See? Okay. I've got all my little circles drawn in. On this page, I'm going to come back to this one. And they can be as big as the circles we've drawn. They can be smaller. It doesn't matter. It's all okay. Okay. Got all my circles drawn in. I have to draw some buds. I forgot to draw buds on this little part of the page, or this part of the project. So it's oval, part of an oval, part of an oval, 2 lines, and a line. Oval, parts of an oval, 2 lines, and a line. Okay? 2 oval, part of an oval, 2 little lines, and a line. I'm going to start my impatiens now. Look how quick I'm doing them. It's not that I'm faster than you, I'm just not thinking about it. Or I think I'm better than you. I'm just not thinking about it. I'm just doing the lines. You keep drawing. I'm gonna go get my charger, okay? You keep going. Oh. Oh, Bugsy. Oops. Okay, I got my charger, so I'm gonna plug it in. So I drop everything. Hopefully the camera won't die. Okay, I'm back. Hope you've gotten further along than me. Little me. Okay. Don't forget to turn your paper. Don't forget to turn the pen. All the lines don't have to match. They don't have to be the same thickness. They don't have to be the same thinness. You don't even have to finish all the line if you don't want to. You can break it up. You can experiment. It's a lot of what art is. It's just experimenting. Almost done with this sheet. And we'll move on to the next one. Okay. Moving on to the next one. This is taking a long time, but it's okay. It's not that complicated, so it's not that bad. Some of my petals aren't even touching the center. Some of them are crossing over into the center. And you know what? So, okay. Some of my petals look like hearts, some of them don't. It's okay. Feels better. Okay, I'm about halfway through my flowers. Hope you're doing okay. But we still got plenty of time. I wonder if anyone's going to make this on Mother's Day with their mom or with their grandma or their auntie or a neighbor. Whoever cares for them. You know, it's hard right now because we're not supposed to be together. We can't go visit. Or a lot of us can't. Some of us can. But maybe you live with someone. Or maybe it's your mom, maybe it's your dad who would like this, or like to make it with you. Or maybe it's a parent that would like to make this with their child. That's what I hope for. Okay, I'm getting there. Look at all my flowers. Wow, it's getting crowded in there. It's like a big puzzle. But that's why we started with the circles. So we could make a really dense little flower patch. Very dense, very thick. You know what? If you decide to add a couple more or some more little buds, you can do that. It's okay. It's okay. When my son was growing up, we used to do projects together. Usually they revolved around homework. But my favorite Mother's Day was a Mother's Day where I had to work, but he came with me. And we ended up making a castle together out of cardboard. I got him started, and then he worked on it from there. It was nice. I think that was my favorite Mother's Day. Okay, I'm done. So now I'm going to start filling in the centers with lines. I've got my skinnier Sharpie. You can use a ballpoint pen if that's what you have. We're just going to turn the paper so the lines are always going in different directions. I'm not thinking about it, I'm just putting in the lines. There. So I'm going to do the same thing on this. We actually have a lot of time left. Unless my iPad runs out of power, I think we have a lot of time left. Okay, I finished filling those in. Now I'm going to make some leaves. And remember, it's just a, what's it? The leaves are just a straight line, okay? With two lines on the outside. Straight line, 1, 2. That's it. Okay? So straight line, straight line, straight line. I'm not going to worry about putting them everywhere. I'm not going to worry about any of it. You can't even see those. It's just the idea of them. Straight line, curve, curve, straight line, curve, curve. Straight line, curve, curve. Straight line, curve, curve. Okay. That'll be a really fun coloring project. Straight line, curve, curve. 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 And if you happen to draw over a petal by mistake, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You haven't done anything wrong. It's just a little boo-boo and it's not going to matter. Straight line, curve, 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 curve. Yep. There we go. Now this you can color in with whatever you've got. Doesn't matter. Crayon, colored pencil, whatever you've got. I'm just going to take a couple of these lines out. And then we're going to cut around it. I don't need to erase too much. This isn't going anywhere. Whoops. Ooh. Where'd it go? There it is. So now we're going to take our scissors and just loosely cut around everything. I don't want you to worry about making nice, keeping it right on top of the black line or making it too perfect or anything. Just want you to cut. To me, I like the big, fat, easy way. Big, fat, easy way of cutting, anyway. And you can cut in a little bit if you have more patience than me. That's it'll make it it'll make it even more interesting. Well, in a different way, actually. Interesting in a different way. Oop. You see where I've got it? You see how I'm doing it? It looks like it's really detailed and cut out, and it does not at the same time. Remember we drew the pencil line in the beginning? That's as far down as we're going to go. We drew the pencil line down to about here, so that's as far down as we're going to cut. We don't really need to cut any further. You can if you want to. I'm just not going to. Then we're going to take this, and my line is up here. But I'm not going to follow that pencil line I made. Instead, I'm going to follow the pen lines we made. And again, it's big cutting gestures. Nothing too tiny, nothing too fancy, nothing to worry about. Ooh, I forgot to erase my pencil lines. That's okay. You can erase yours. I'll erase some now because I just finished. See how that's cut all curvy? That's what we want. You know what? We're almost done. I just want you to know that we're actually almost done. Okay. So why don't we take Jimmy and we're gonna make a couple of those rolls like we do. I'm just gonna cut a piece of paper, piece of scrap paper. Make a couple of those rolls that we do that make our projects stand up. Whoop. Whoop. Just like that. Okay. Just going to make a couple of these. They don't have to be any particular size. Nothing in particular, because he's not actually going to be standing up with these. I'm doing something a little bit different. But we are, oh, hello. We are going to glue them to the back. Now be careful. You don't want to put too much glue on when you're using scrap paper, especially, because it can buckle. It can get all wrinkly and stuff. So that we want to be a little bit careful of. Come on, Jimmy. Oh, you know what? I always forget to say this. Don't, if you're going to color it or photocopy it, do it before we get to this part. Sorry, I always forget because I don't color mine in. I'm not interested in that. Okay, so we're going to take Jimmy and we're going to glue him on. We're going to glue the back of those two rolls. Now look at, one's fat, one's thin. Doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Let's put him, I think I'm going to put him up there. Okay. Then we're going to take this guy. I think what I want to do is not have the piece of paper stretch over it flat. I think I want to go like this. I want to have it bend. So I'm going to glue that there, that piece there. And hopefully it'll stand up. That's what I was thinking it would do. I didn't really, once again, I didn't plan it out particularly well. We just went ahead and did it. I made my mind up when I was walking Bugsy, my dog, that this is what we're going to do. So let's see how that goes. If it doesn't stand up, then we can put something on the back. But, whoop! Oh, Jimmy's a little top heavy. That's a little bit of a problem. Yeah, he's too heavy up here. He's too heavy. His head's too heavy. So let's make a roll for the back. We'll just take our... That was my mistake. Actually, you know what would be better? Let's take a toilet paper roll. And make sure you've got more toilet paper off of yours than mine. Get it nice and clean. Do I have a clean one? Oh, I have one. All right, I've got a pretty clean one. It's pretty banged up, too. But let's take a toilet paper roll, because this is going to be heavier, so it's going to help to hold him up. I'm just going to smear. I'm going to put some glue on that. Glue it to the back of Jimmy, and you want it on the end, on the edge of that bottom, on the edge of that piece of paper right there. Okay. You can glue him, or where's my tape? Oh, I don't know where my tape is, because I never use it. But look, that's perfect. Look at that. Jimmy's standing up. Okay, almost. He will when the glue dries. Yeah, There we go. We've got Jimmy in a garden with a bouquet of flowers. So happy Mother's Day, or happy birthday, or happy I'm glad you're well, or I'm sorry you don't feel good, or I just love you. Here, put it up. And we're done. And that's our project. Okay? We did it. We did it. Oh, I was going to make a butterfly, but I think do we have enough time? We have a couple minutes. Let's make a butterfly. Okay? Let's do this really fast. We can do this. We're pros. So we're going to make like a hot dog. Almost like a hot dog. And a nice big fat wing. That's going to have a little bit of a heart shape at the end, like our impatiens. Or not. Wait a minute, never mind. Let's see. What do we want to do? Why don't we skip the heart shape? We're going to make it like, let's give it some weird shape. Like that. Then we'll make a bottom wing. Like that. We'll give him an eye. Give the wing an eye. Give the wing an eye. And then let's make one that looks like it's way far away, or it's bending away. Two shapes like that. Let's grab our pen. Oh boy, we're cutting it short. We're getting real close here to the end of my the video. I put on 2 antennae. I'm just going to draw this really fast because I'm running out of time. There's one wing. There's the other wing. And we're going to draw these. There. Okay, I'm going to cut them out. I've got about 1.5 minutes to get this done. Come on, big old butterfly, let's go. You might want to cut this a little bit more carefully than me. I'm racing the clock. My iPad will shut off. I'm not looking at the time. I'm not looking at the time. Okay, I have them cut out good enough for right now. I have just a few seconds. But what we can do is take our little butterfly and then find a place to glue him. Where do we want to put him? How's right there? Okay, I'm going to shut off the camera because the iPad's going to go anyway, and I'm going to glue my butterfly on. But there's our project. There's Jimmy. Jimmy with the flowers, saying I love you. Let me see. Can we do this? Will it work? Yep, we did it. We did it. We did it in enough time. There we are. All right, you guys. You have a good. Enjoy the project. I had a lot of fun, and we'll see you. We'll see you in another video really soon. See you in another video soon. Ciao, ciao. We did it.